Greetings, students, and welcome to this Wednesday's edition of Distant Learning with Mr. Wong. Today we will be reviewing the homework from Monday's review session of adding and subtracting integers before presenting the adding and subtracting integers quiz. Let's proceed. This is the homework from Monday's lesson. The instructions say to show work by adding the opposite for full credit. Solve by adding or subtracting. If the problem is subtraction, change that part of the problem to add the opposite and show all work. The expression reads negative 15 minus 6 plus 5 minus negative 2 minus 12 plus negative 8. Let's take this step by step. Take a look at the minus signs that I changed to red, and the numbers we have to change to the opposite in blue. Everything else in black stays the same. Notice how the subtraction signs are highlighted in red, and the numbers that follow it are immediately blue. These are the numbers we have to change as opposites. Numbers that follow an addition sign do not have to be changed. This negative 15 is not a minus. This negative 8 stays the same because I am adding it. Let's continue. The expression will change and be written like so. Again, changing all the minus to plus and all the numbers that follow those minuses as its opposite. So negative 15 stays the same. The minus now changes to plus. The opposite of 6 is negative 6. Plus 5 remains the same. That minus turns to plus. The negative 2 must turn to its opposite, which is a regular 2. That minus changes to plus, and 12's opposite is negative 12, and the plus negative 8 stays the same, because it's already adding. Now, let's simplify. I will do it from left to right, step by steps. The parts that I do are in green as it continues. In this first case, we will add negative 15 and negative 6. This gives us negative 21, and I rewrite the rest of the expression. Now I will do negative 21 plus 5. Since they're opposite signs, I must follow the rule and subtract them from each other, which I get 16, and use the sign of the larger looking number, which is the 21, so I'll use a negative. I'm going to subtract, I get 16, and I'll use the negative. And I rewrite the rest of the expression. Now let's do negative 16 plus 2. Following the same rule, since they're opposite signs, I will subtract them and get 14 and use that negative symbol because it was larger. Negative 14 plus negative 12 plus negative 8. At this point, I will add the negative 14 and negative 12. Since they're both negatives, it'll only make a larger negative. So the rule for adding numbers with the same sign is to add them together and use the same sign. 14 plus 12 is 26, and we keep using the negative. The same rule applies for this situation. Negative 26 plus negative 8. They're both negatives, so I will combine them to create a bigger negative, and this results in the correct answer, negative 34. Your final solution is negative 34. Go ahead and pause the video now and take this in if you need to review it and rewind as necessary. But let's push forward to look at the quiz questions. Again, the same situation is from Monday where you have to show all the work adding the opposite for full credit. The instructions say to solve by adding or subtracting. If the problem is subtraction, change that part of the problem to add the opposite and show all work. Make sure to originally copy the problem before you work it out. Show all the steps and circle your final solution. You may submit the quiz work to me by taking a photo of your work and emailing it to me just like you've sent in previous assignments. Quiz submissions will be due by the end of Friday evening, May 1st, 2020, 11:59 p.m. Until next time.